Okay, let's dive right into this. We're going to unravel a pretty fascinating and kind of weird mystery that happens when you're deep in a coding session, and it has everything to do with the link between the code on your screen and the pupils in your eyes.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You lean back, the code finally works, and for a second you see a reflection in that dark monitor. And your eyes, they just look intense, huge, almost a little bit alien. Well, guess what? There's a very real, very scientific reason for that.
So, this whole phenomenon has a name, mydriasis. And no, it's not just because you're sitting in a dim room, though that's part of it. It's actually a direct physical response to the heavy-duty mental lifting you're doing. So, let's dig into the why.
First things first, we need to talk about what's going on inside your head. You can think of this as the science behind brain sweat. And I mean that literally. It's the real, measurable effect that intense concentration has on your body.
This right here is the heart of it. It's not just in your head. Well, it is, but you know what I mean. There is a direct, hardwired connection from your brain to your eyes. When you're wrestling with a nasty bug or a super complex algorithm, your brain doesn't just think harder. It sends a clear signal to your pupils, telling them, hey, open up. We need all the data we can get.
And this isn't just some quirky observation. It's a whole field of study. Neuroscientists use something called cognitive pupillometry to actually measure your mental workload in real time just by looking at your eyes. To put it simply, your pupils become a literal, visible gauge of how hard your brain is firing on all cylinders.
So how does this actually work? Well, it's this incredible chain reaction. It all starts with you, focusing intensely on that piece of code. That intense focus fires up a tiny but super powerful part of your brainstem called the locus coeruleus. This little spot then floods your system with norepinephrine. Think of it like a shot of pure, uncut alertness. That chemical kicks your whole nervous system into high gear, and that physically pulls your pupils wide open. It's basically your brain yelling all hands on deck to solve the problem.
Now, what's really cool is that your eyes are in this constant biological tug of war. You have your rest and digest system, which wants to chill out and keep your pupils small. But when you start coding, the fight or flight system takes over. It sees that complex problem not as a threat, like a tiger, but as a high-stakes challenge. And it responds the same way, by opening the pupils wide to take in every last bit of information.
But hold on. It's not just about what's happening inside your brain. The world around you and, yeah, what you're putting into your body plays a huge part in this too. Let's see how all these pieces build on each other.
What you're really doing is creating a perfect storm for mydriasis. Just think about it for a sec. First, you've got the Batcave effect, dark room, dark mode IDE, which naturally makes your pupils open to let in more light. Then, on top of that, you have the adrenaline rush you get from being in a flow state, which is its own kind of fight or flight trigger. Then, the caffeine, that coffee you're drinking, is chemically flipping the exact same switch. It's a triple threat.
Okay, so this is happening. Our pupils are getting huge. We get it. But so what? Does it actually matter? Is having your pupils cranked open for hours while you stare at a screen a problem we should be worried about?
The answer is a big, flashing yes. For starters, when your pupils are wide open, your depth of field shrinks, which forces your eye muscles into overdrive just to keep the screen in focus. That's a direct line to serious eye strain. They also act like open floodgates for light, especially blue light, which can lead to headaches and mess with your sleep. And to top it all off, you blink way, way less when you're focused, which means those wide open eyes are drying out at hyperspeed. But okay, don't panic. The good news is you don't have to choose between getting your work done and your eyesight. There are some incredibly simple, really effective ways to give your eyes the break they deserve without completely derailing your focus. You've probably heard of the 20-20-20 rule, and honestly, it's famous for a reason. The real magic here isn't just about looking away from your screen, it's about forcing your eyes to completely change focus. See, when you look at something far away, the tiny muscles in your eye that have been clenched tight for 20 minutes straight finally get a chance to relax. That little 20-second pause is a physical reset that stops that strain from building up. And here are 2 more super easy pro tips. First, bias lighting. A simple, cheap light strip behind your monitor softens that harsh contrast between your bright screen and the dark room. This lets your pupils constrict a little, giving them a much-needed break. And second, think about your fuel. Just swapping that third cup of coffee for a glass of water can make a huge difference in fighting off the dry eyes we were just talking about. So, in the end, try not to think of programmer mydriasis as some kind of flaw. It's really not.
It's more like a badge of honor. It's the visible physical proof of the incredible mental workout you're putting in. Your brain is going all in, pulling out all the stops to solve these complex problems, and your eyes are just along for the ride.
So the next time you finally push away from the keyboard and you see that intense, wide-eyed programmer staring back at you from the reflection, you'll know exactly what's happening. You get the science behind it. So the only real question left is, how are you going to thank your eyes for helping you get all that work done?